Can you hear me, Mataji? Okay, okay. I think we are not. Previously, I was able to hear you. You were not able to hear me. Now I can't hear you, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Thank you. So we will start with the prayer. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत्. Wonderful. So thank you for joining in today. We are starting verse 8. As we go further, it's going to become more nectarine, it's going to go more deeper. So with that, we are on text 8. Just to give a summary what we covered last week, we were talking about the glories of the holy name. We were discussing about the name, fame, qualities. Name Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Name, fame, Rupa is the the feature of the Lord. And then basically everything is from name, whether we think about Lord, whether we talk about his glories, whether we chant his name is same. And we were talking about why we are not able to relish that holy name today, because we have a disease of jaundice. What is that disease? When the person is infected by jaundice disease, he cannot actually experience the sweetness of a sugar. Though the medicine for jaundice is sugar cane, but that person feels the sugar cane is bitter. Though that's a medicine and sugar cane is supposed to be sweet, but because it's a jaundice, he or she cannot understand the real taste of the sugar cane. Same way we are in the disease condition of agyana. What is agyana? I am this body and everything pertaining to this body is mine. That's why we are not able to taste the holy name, and it just becomes a matter of duty just to do it for sake of finishing. I'm thinking about myself. We realize that we have a disease and we work on that piece. So this verse is going to the next level. What is text 8 is saying? We will read it together. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanunanu
तन्नामरूपाचरितादिसुकीर्तानानो
Smrityo Kramena Rasanamana Siniyojaya
स्मृत्यो मे रासानमानसै नियोय
Trishtan Vrajate Tad Anuragi Janunugami
तिष्ठानुरुजाय तत् अनुराग
Jananugami
जनानुगामी
Kalam Naye Dakhilam Iti Upadeshasaram.
कालं नायेदखिलम् इति उपदेशस्तारम्.
Can you read the translation? I'll see the light.
Yeah. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord divine name, transcendental form qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Golaka Vrindavana Dhama, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional services.
Amazing. This is a
Prabhuji, how
very
come Prabhuji? 24 hours.
this is
My,
thank
we
you,
are not
Naresh
even
Prabhu, for
spending one
joining.
and a half hour daily.
This is a very beautiful verse. What are we discussing here? The essence of all advice. Now, whatever, ultimately, whatever person has a disease, now the doctor says, hold on. The serious is this is getting serious now. So I have a pair of advice. What is that? Now this is it. You have to try this. And what we have to try? One should utilize one's full time. What is full time means? Oh, full time.
24
One may
bar
say, oh no,
7.
I am a parent. I have to have take 24/7, 24 hours a day. What do we do? In nicely chanting and remembering Lord's divine name. Now one may say, so Prabhu, this is so difficult. This is not pertaining to me. This doesn't apply to me because I have to take care of duty. Yes. While applying the duty, while performing your duty, how can you remember Krishna? That is the science we need to work upon. Arjuna, when we read Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna is mentioning about sannyasa, he's saying, Krishna, you are saying renunciation, tyaga is better than doing activities. What is tyaga means? Oh, I want to leave everything and I want to go to the forest because he didn't want to fight. But Krishna is telling, no, better than tyaga, it's better to do your own duty, but by remembering me. This is very important. This is bhakti. Bhakti is not tyaga. Bhakti is not renunciation. Renunciation may be part of bhakti. And what is the renunciation really means is detachment from the fruits of our activity. That is what is being mentioned here, not that we leave our duty. So this verse, think that you have to leave your job to reach this verse. You don't to realize this verse. You continue what you are doing. But how can you remember 24/7? I'll give you a beautiful example. We just recently started a program in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor, it's a hub of universities here in Michigan, Detroit. So that program, that was a first week, and we did not know how many people will turn around. To our surprise, there were more than 35 devotees came, and it was a gala festival. Actually, it was a wonderful first program. I realized that program, the investment of my heart or investment of my time along with my heart became so important, so condensed that I carry forward that experience until now. This is Tuesday now. So we did that program on Sunday. So 2 days at least I'm surviving. When we actually condensify our Krishna consciousness, even just during the weekend, try to be in the temple, try to do some services in the temple, trying to do more devotional service, it actually gives you energy for rest of the week. Like, you charge your phone. You don't charge the phone whole day, right? What you do is you put the phone for charging in the evening, and next day you carry with the phone. Most of us, at least, I'm just putting the idea and try to connect this. You use that phone rest of the day, and then you again charge in the night. So what happens for the whole day, right? Recently I was just thinking about, anyway, I don't want to get into that. So we are looking to charge ourselves with Krishna consciousness so that we can permeate that consciousness, we can continue with that consciousness for rest of the day. And if we do that way, that what will happen in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal times. I'll tell you very important aspect, which I remember I asked the question and I got the answer from Yogal Kishore, which is a very important one. He shared a beautiful time. There are three principles in bhakti. What are the three principles? Sambandha, Abhideha, and Jnana. Sorry. Sambandha, Abhidehana, and Prayojana. What is the meaning of that? Sambandha is relationship. Abhideha is the path, the medium through which basically you do that. And prayojana is a destination. So prayojana is a destination. One has to understand what destination we are going or where am I heading towards. That's very important. And once I identify the destination, I want to find out the path. Now someone has to guide for that path, because you may have various paths. You have to figure out what is the right path, right? Like Google Maps. What is Google Map? Google Map is a navigation. It's a path. It gives you a path. It does not give you a destination. You put the destination yours, gives you a path. But before you do that, you need to know
where we have to
why
go.
why am I going there? Right? Where is destination? How is this thing? But why am I going there? So until the Sambandha Jnana is not clear, we will not be able to progress further. Am I making sense so far? What is Sambandha Jnana? Is building a relationship, understand why am I doing what am I doing. Unless we don't realize, we will not be able to value. For an example, you ask a 12th grader when they get out of the school, you ask them, so why are you studying? They have an answer. I want to have a good job and I want to get into a great university. And then I want a good job. I want a good job. I want a good grades and I want a good job. And then I want a great salary. I want a big house. And then there is the series. The lines goes forward from there, right? So the goal is clear. But in our life, you say when goal is clear, materially goal is clear. Goal is clear. But spiritually, one has to know the goal and needs to know the medium to reach to the goal. And why do I need to reach the goal? Unless you don't have a why question answered, you will not be able to give a full heart. That's why a lot of times in bhakti is always a spare wheel for us. It's not a steering wheel. Why bhakti is a spare wheel? Because spare wheel, when do you need it? When there is a puncture. When things do not go our way, at that time we need a spare wheel, bhakti. Otherwise, oh, I don't need. I'm like, okay, spirituality is just one quotient, and I'll just keep it. I'm a spiritualist. Just a tag, wearing a tag. I belong to this community. I belong to this. That's not what Krishna consciousness is all about. Krishna consciousness is about developing the consciousness of Krishna. Always thinking about, am I with Krishna? Am I thinking about Krishna or I'm thinking about Maya? So now one may say, okay, I understood. Sambandha is important. How do I develop Sambandha? How do I develop relationship? How do I identify the why quotient? How do I answer the why question? How do I do that? By reading scriptures. Unless I don't give my time reading scriptures, we will not be able to actually find out the answer for why. And unless the why is not clear, how is not going to be clear, and what will not be clear, right? Even though sometimes what, but the urgency doesn't come because the Sambandha Gyan is missing, right? And what we are reading, Bhagavad Gita was a first book which established the Sambandha. What was the second chapter? Science of the soul. What is it referring to? Science of the soul is referring to we are not the body, we are the Atma. Now one may say, okay, I understood, I already know it. Well, there is two parts to it. One is a theoretical knowledge and second is realization. Realization means what? I'm spending 24 hours on my body, but I'm saying I'm not the body. It's a conflict, right? It's a complete conflicting thought. I know I'm not the body, I'm a soul, but you see, based on morning to evening activity, it is pertaining to the body. Like today, I was just working on renewing my H1B. So I had to provide tons of documentation and all that stuff, uploading that. So I spent like 3-4 hours. And then finally the day got over and all this. So I was just sitting and thinking about it. I wasted my day thinking about how to take care of that activity. Of course, that is needed. I'm not saying on that aspect, but if you see from spirituality perspective, I did not take it that way. So when you read scriptures, your intelligence gets sharpened to actually discriminate what is right and what is not right in terms of what is Krishna consciousness and what is not Krishna consciousness. And when you read scriptures, like especially simply one book is Krishna book is there. When you go to sleep, please read few lines or few pages of Krishna book. Beautiful pastimes. When you read that pastime, you will remember that, and that's what is being mentioned in the second line, that we are actually trying to Remember transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. So, what are we doing when we are now? Let's talk about the mind. What is mind's tendency, or what is mind? All mind has three things to do: thinking, feeling, and willing. So, first are these are three steps in a increasing order. So, first step is thinking. What am I thinking? If I'm thinking about Krishna, right, then I will feel about Krishna, and then I'll do activities which is willing about Krishna. But if my mind is filled with all garbage, right, oh, I have to do this, I have to earn this money, I have to do this, I have to invest here and all that stuff, then your feeling is based on that, and willing is only there, so Krishna is not there. So that's why, how can you engage your mind? By hearing Krishna's pastime, reading Krishna's pastime. It's very important. So far, even from starting from Bhagavad Gita till this verse, we did not cover us. We covered while in different pastimes of Krishna, but we are not reading Krishna's pastime. Theory is good. This philosophy is very important, but one has to also supplement that with the reading Krishna's nectarine pastimes, which will actually very meditating. Like I don't want to share that pastime. It's very esoteric, but I was just hearing while going in the car, and I was just picking up my daughter, which is like 10 minutes from here and 10 minutes coming. So I was hearing a beautiful pastime of Krishna stealing the ring. That's the pastime. And when I was, see, it's not about me or anyone else. When I was doing the arti, when I saw the finger, when I saw the ring of Krishna, I immediately remembered that pastime. Because if I don't hear that pastime, I cannot connect Krishna's beauty. So that's why we have to hear and we have to read these pastimes, so that we have some meditation to work upon. You can't meditate on philosophy. Philosophy is important, which is clarifying our doubts and making things clear. So that's why remembering Krishna's pastime is important, because they will enchant our mind. And you won't be able to think, because that's such a sweet part. Mind is always looking for something sublime, something new. And what we need to know is, we need to read and hear more and more Krishna's pastime, so that it's always new, right? And then what it says, in this way, when we do that, in this way, one should reside in Raja. What does that mean? We are talking about going to Vrindavan. But Vrindavan is thousands miles away. I have a job, I have a responsibility. How can I live in Vrindavan? You mentally live in Vrindavan. You mentally live in Vrindavan. Like for an example, we just went October, November we went actually, October, sorry. October we went to Vrindavan. We visited various places. And when you visit those places, you actually drink that experience within your heart. And when you come here, you are thinking about Vrindavan, you're thinking about this, and you, oh, look at that Radha Kund, how beautiful it was. Look at that Sham Kund, wow, how everyone was there. Like I remember when I hear this beautiful, this, we were just singing the Aarti. Aarati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane. Brahma ji is actually doing the Aarti of who? Lord Chaitanya. Immediately I remember one time I was there in Radha Kund, and I was there next to Radha Kund, and there was an Aarti going on in Radha Kund. Immediately remember that pastime. So what we do is, again, I'm a dull-headed person, but I'm just trying to give a glimpse here. I'm trying to remember, so that at least I can remember this, because otherwise it just becomes theoretical for me. So we hear about, or when we read about these pastimes of Krishna, we actually live in Vraja. I'll give you one beautiful story. So there was a guru, and he had his one disciple, small boy, but very sincere small boy, very devotional. So his guru gave him a duty that you go to the forest every day for herding the cows. So he would go taking cows and remembering Krishna. Oh, this is a place where Krishna would come for herding the cows. This is a place where Krishna and Balram and all the gopas would sit to eat. Oh, this is the place Krishna would take a bath. He would remember that. And he developed a desire. I wish one day I see Krishna. He developed, desire became intense, 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 and it becomes really intense. I wish I can see Krishna. One day, his guru said, now you go for herding the cows. He came to the forest. When he came to the forest, he saw from a distance there were beautiful boys, effulgent, herding the cows. And there was one boy whose body was blue. And when he saw, oh, this is Krishna, my desire is fulfilled. He went to Krishna and Krishna hugged him, welcomed him. He said, you come with us. Let's herd the cows together. And they herd the cows together. After that, they sat in the corner. Let's have lunch together. So, what is the lunch? What do they do? Now, different gopas, their mothers pack different kind of lunch. For whom? Not for their son, indirectly for Krishna. Someone will make kachoris, someone will make samosas, someone will make idli, someone will make dahi rice or curd rice, someone will make malpua, various items they were making. Someone made rasgulla, someone made gulab jamun. And then they all open the lunch. Krishna, look at this, what I have for you. Krishna, look at this, what I have for you. And then Krishna will open the lunch. Hey, look at me, my mother. What did she give for me? Or what did she give for all of you? He would think about that. And this new boy was so happy. Wow. How the spiritual world feels like. So anyway, sunset was about to happen. Krishna said, let me remember this boy's name. Bondu. I'll confirm you on that, but his name is Bondu. So this boy started crying. Krishna, how would I live without you? No, 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 go. Okay. Don't worry about it. Right now I have to go. Yashoda Maya is waiting for me. We'll meet again tomorrow. So this boy woke up early in the morning, said to Guru, I want to go for herding the cows. Guru packed him lunch and he went. So couple of days passed and Guru was noticing this guy is very happy. He asked him, what is happening? Can you tell me? What is happening in your life? He said, Guruji, when I go for herding the cows, nowadays I go with Krishna to herd the cows. And I eat lunch with them. And I get variety of dishes. So Guru got bewildered. He said, what? You go with Krishna? He said, yeah, Guruji, daily I'm going. And this guy was very innocent. Guru thought there is something in it. So he said, okay, why don't you do one thing? Today when you go to Krishna, ask him that I have invited him for lunch. Ask him to come tomorrow for lunch. So he said, yes, Guruji. He was a very sincere disciple. So he went there. When he went there, then they heard the cows and they were eating the lunch. While eating the lunch, Bondu said to Krishna, my dear Krishna, I have a proposal for you. Yes, Bondu, what is your proposal? Well, my Guru is so kind to invite you for lunch tomorrow. Why don't you come for the lunch tomorrow? To my Guru. He wants to see you. Guru Krishna said, na. I am just coming for you. I'm not going to come and see your Guru. I'm just here, your friend. I don't want to show my face to anyone else. You are my friend. So I want to have friendship with you, but I don't want to see your Guru. Bondu started crying. He said, Krishna, if you don't want to come to my Guru, I have no relation with you. I am leaving. Krishna started crying. No, Bondu, I want to have your association. I want to have fun with you. Please don't go. No, Krishna, my Guru is everything for me. If you want to come and see my Guru, then I will play with you. And so 2-3 times it happened. Finally, Krishna said, okay. Why he want to say okay? Because he want Bondu's association. I don't want to miss you. I want your association. I don't want to miss you. I want to be with you. So next day, he went home, Bondu, and told Guru, yes, so Krishna is coming tomorrow. Prepare a very lavish lunch. Let's prepare and then we will welcome Krishna. Guru is still in dilemma. What is this guy doing? I have no idea. So, anyway,
Let's prepare.
let's prepare. He started preparing. The time came. Both teacher and Bondu were standing out, waiting for Krishna. And to their surprise, Krishna came with all the gopas. The Guru fainted there, seeing Krishna. And then Krishna woke him up. And he couldn't believe that Krishna is right here in front of my eyes. And then Guru was so happy, he offered his pranam to his disciple. Because of you, I could see Krishna. What is the conclusion of the story? When one has a lobha, when one has an intense desire to see Krishna, not only Krishna manifest, but he cries in separation when the devotees sing, I want to go. Right now, we cry for money, we cry for family, we cry for our kids, we cry for our job, we cry for our car, we cry for our house, we cry for our neighbors, we cry for our health, but we forget to cry for Krishna. Krishna, I really need you. I am struggling. 84 lakh species I have crossed over, and I'm still thinking I am the enjoyer, I am the creator, I am the proprietor. That's why rotting in the material world, but still the desire to enjoy doesn't go. That's why we can't live in Vraja. What is meaning of living in Vraja, which is being mentioned here, is that by always meditating on Krishna's beautiful pastimes, chanting Krishna's holy name, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees, it's very important. The moment you say, "Oh, I don't need devotees. I can hear Zoom katha. I don't need devotees. I don't need to go to the temple," which means we are in biggest Maya. Real Krishna consciousness start when one develops desire to serve Krishna and his devotees. And that's what we were reading few verses back. Three type of devotees are there: Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. What does Kanishta Adhikari mean? Only deities. I have nothing to do with devotees. Hey, who are you? Get out from here. I look at Krishna. I love Krishna. I don't care about anything else. A lot of times you see people come in the temple, and there is a class going on in the temple. And what they do is they come in the front of the deities, they see the deities, maybe they put some money in the hundi and they go. They don't give importance to someone speaking Krishna Katha. They don't give importance to there are people around who are worshipping Krishna. I just have my own agenda, I will go and do it. This is Kanishta Adhikari. Madhyam Adhikari is what? Who gives importance to devotees as well as Krishna. Understand that. We have to serve devotees, and these devotees only will help me to go to Krishna. How could Guru see Krishna? Not because of his own vision. His disciple was so elevated that the Guru could see that also. Otherwise, he could not see that. Same way, disciples can only see when Guru is pleased, when Prabhupada is pleased. So what we are doing is we are trying to please Prabhupada, we are trying to please Krishna. And when we do that, then we develop that lobha, the intensity. Krishna consciousness is a multifaceted process, not a single facet process. Like when we say, oh, you go to like Jnana Yoga, you just go to the forest, restrain from your senses, and just meditate. Krishna consciousness is a wholesome process. What is wholesome process? You get pizza, you get pasta, you get variety of food, chappan bhog, you eat nicely, you chant nicely, you dance nicely, you read scriptures, you hear about Krishna, you chant about Krishna, you dance about Krishna. So many variety. You can take pictures of Krishna, you can do aarti to Krishna, you can go and visit Krishna's holy places. So many varieties there. To what? Variety is the mother of, what is that? Innovation. What is that? I forgot the term. So it's important that we actually nurture our taste for various activities, either participating, watching the drama, singing kirtan like you were beautifully singing, or hearing the kirtan, or speaking katha, hearing katha. Right? That's very important, and that's how we can live in Vraja. Here, Raja is not a physical place. Of course, there is Vrindavan, there is physical place there, but we are so far, we can't go there. But just by meditating on these pastimes, hearing these pastimes, we can live in Raja. One should follow in the footsteps of Lord's beloved devotees. Lot of Lord Chaitanya's disciples, they never went to Vrindavan. Very interesting. Even Lord Chaitanya was initially not was able to go to Vrindavan when he was in Jagannath Puri. When he's pulling the card of Lord Jagannath, at the time he's thinking about Vrindavan and Kurukshetra pastime. How Krishna met the gopis of Vrindavan. So that's a very important, and that's how we have to be attached to the devotees and we have to be attached to the devotional service. Prabhupada writes in the purport, since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, right now none of ours mind is a friend. Our mind is enemy at this moment. One has to train the mind to become his friend. That's the whole process. The Krishna conscious movement is specially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business, right? Like I just can't imagine. We just Mommy the Mataji also actually joins for our Sunday program, but that I moved on Saturday night, 4 to 5 p.m. These devotees come. They just brand new devotees. They come at 4. We have a class from 4 to 5 p.m. 3:55 they are here. Sharp. And if someone is not able to make it, they call me, Prabhu, I can't make it. Such a sincerity. I was just amazed. 3:55 they are here. 4 o'clock our class starts. 5 o'clock it ends. Every week they are there without fail. Just 5 classes we have done so far. Very enthusiastic to participate. I was just amazed. Where is this coming from? Is we are training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. The mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions. One time you are sitting here in America, and all of a sudden you remember your childhood. You used to go and eat the vada in this stall or this tea stall or whatever. Where is that? These are impressions which are created on the mind. Spirituality means creating spiritual impressions on the mind. Experiencing yatra, like we were just talking, Bimesh Prabhu, we all went once to New Vrindavan in a bus, or 50, 60 devotees. Very wonderful experience. So now you enhance that experience by living that, remembering that, oh, I went there. It was this beautiful Radha Vrindavan Chandra wore this dress. They were so beautifully decorated. We did the kirtan, we heard the classes, we had wonderful prasad. Like that. So this is what the impression is. Not only of this life, but also of many, many lives of past. Right? These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures like permutation, combination. In this way, the mind's function can become dangerous for a conditioned soul. Students of psychology are aware of mind's various psychophysical changes, right? Whatever state of being one remembers, we just read this 8.6 verse. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejati ante kale varam, which is what? Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. So what we are remembering at our death moment decides our destination. And if we are thinking we are going to cheat Krishna, I will not practice bhakti, or I will just be a mild devotee, and if you think I'll remember Krishna, we are fool number one. We are fool number one. I just sharing the other day, I went to ICU room. One of our devotee friend was hospitalized. The moment I entered an ICU room or ICU area, I immediately went back to how I was living in Toronto, or even in here when my wife was in ICU for months. Difficult, extremely difficult environment to actually even think about Krishna. Now, how can we remember Krishna at last minute? That's why it is said life is a preparation, death is an exam. What we are doing right now is we are preparing for the exam. What is that exam? The last minute of death. Right? At the time of death, the mind and intelligence of a living entity creates a subtle form or certain type of body for the next life. This is true. If the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, one has to take the corresponding birth and next life. Srimad Bhagavatam has many examples. A husband was very attached to his wife. Next life he became a woman. Can you imagine? because he was so attached to his wife. Next time he had to become a woman because he was just thinking about it. Bharat Maharaj, when he was so attached to deer, he was meditating on it and he left the body. What did he become in the next life? Deer.
Dear.
So powerful. On the other end, if one think of Krishna at the time of death, he can be transferred to the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. This process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami advises devotees to train their minds in order that they will be unable to remember anything other than Krishna. That is 24/7. Similarly, the tongue should be trained to speak only for Krishna and to taste only Krishna Prasad. We were reading last few verses. Srila Rupa Goswami further advises Tishthan Vraje, one should live in Vrindavan or any part of Vrajabhumi. Vrajabhumi or land of Vrindavan is supposed to be 84 kroshas in area. One krosha equals 24 square miles. It's so huge. When one makes Vrindavan his residence, he should take shelter of the advanced devotee there. In this way, one should always think of Krishna and in his pastimes. Right? In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, we will probably take that book after Nectar of Instruction, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, very beautiful book. What is that? Krishnam Smarachasya. What is that? A devotee should always reside in the transcendental line of Raja and always engage in Krishna's Smaranam Janam Chasya Prishtam, the remembrance of Sri Krishna and his beloved associates. By following in the footsteps of such associates and by entering under their eternal guidance, one can acquire an intense desire to serve Supreme Lord. We were speaking about intense desire. Again, Srila Rupa Goswami explains in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, in the transcendental realm of Raja or Raja Bhumi, one should serve the Supreme Lord. How? Sri Krishna with a feeling similar to that of his associates. How Gopas are serving, how Gopis are serving, how Mother Yashoda are serving. And one should place himself under guidance of particular associate of Krishna and should follow in his footsteps. This is very important. We need to know who are the sakhas or friends of Krishna. We need to know who is the parents of Krishna and what they are doing. Like for an example, I was just mentioning about one time Prabhupada was saying, Prabhupada was in deep meditation. And one devotee asked, Prabhupada, what are you thinking? Prabhupada said, I am seeing what Yashoda Maya cooked for Krishna today. What is in his lunchbox today? Meditation. Can you imagine? This is beautiful. And how can you actually think about Krishna and Sakha and what they are feeling, what they are experiencing? So you need to read about Krishna. You need to read about Krishna's friends. You need to read about Krishna's Sakhas, parents, gopis, so that you can understand how they are pleasing Krishna. And I want to do like that. Right? This is very beautiful. One time, Sridama. So there are many friends of Krishna, Sridama, Sudama. So Sridama, after evening when they came out after herding the cows, he started crying, Krishna, I won't be able to see you again tomorrow. I really miss you. I want to be always with you. So Krishna came and told to Yashoda Maya, I guess we want to give him a painting so that when he goes away, he can remember me by just hugging the painting of me. But the painting has to exactly look like me. Mother Yashoda says, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So Yashoda Maya thinks, she remembers um, a Sakhi, Radharani's friend. What is her name? Let me, Chitra Sakhi. So Chitra Sakhi is very talented to actually paint. And then Yashoda Maya goes to Sakhi and she requests him that can you make them can you Chitra, can you Chitra Sakhi, can you please make the beautiful painting of my Kana? Sakhi says, yeah, absolutely, Mother Yashoda. I'll come tomorrow morning. And Yashoda Maya dresses Krishna the next day, and Krishna is ready. And then Krishna is moving like that. Yashoda Maya says, sit straight, stand straight. Because Chitra Sakhi is building a picture, making a picture. And Chitra Sakhi started painting beautiful form of Krishna. And after drawing, she wanted to color the painting. But she was not able to find out what is the color of Krishna's body. She was thinking, and Chitra Sakhi had a blessing of Mother Saraswati. And she was not able to figure out. So she prayed to Mother Saraswati. Mother Saraswati, please, can you guide me? What is the color of Krishna's body? What did Saraswati Mata said? Actually, Chitra Sakhi, even I don't know it. But there is only one person in the entire cosmic manifestation who knows the body color of Krishna. Don't think that we can figure out the shade. So, who's that? Srimati Radharani. Why don't you go to Srimati Radharani and ask her what is the color of Krishna's body? So Chitra Sakhi comes to Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani welcomes her and asks her, why are you so down, Chitra Sakhi? And Chitra Sakhi said, my dear Sri Radha, I have created a painting of Krishna, who Krishna Yashodamaya requested because she wanted to give it to Sri Rama. And I'm not able to figure out the color of Krishna's body. Srimati Radharani smiled. She said, look in my eyes. And Chitra Sakhi looked at the eyes of Srimati Radharani. And when she saw those beautiful eyes, she saw a beautiful color of blackish blue, like a rain cloud. And when she saw, she realized, I know the color now. Srimati Radharani said, okay, so you know the color now? She said, yes. She went and painted with that color. And then next day, she gave it to Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya got the picture. She was so much mesmerized. I forgot the term what to use. And she brought it in front of Krishna. And when she showed it to Krishna, you know what Krishna said? Maya, why are you showing me a mirror? Krishna, Kana, this is not a mirror, this is a painting. Oh, really? This is a painting? She said, yeah. You remember Chitra Sakhi was painting? This is a painting. So Krishna was so happy. Krishna went and gave this painting to Sri Dama. And Yashoda Maya was so happy because Krishna is happy, his Sakhas are happy. She said, what can I give you? Chitra Sakhi. Chitra Sakhi said, well, Mother Yashoda, if you want, you can give me your son. And Krishna's mouth was open and Yashoda Maya's mouth was open. Yashoda said, you can take my life, but don't take Krishna from me. So much attached she is to Krishna. And Krishna said, yeah, exactly. I am so much attached to Mother Yashoda, I will never leave her. This is the beauty of actually being in that pastime. Right? And meditating on these beautiful deities, beautiful devotees actually, who are participating in this pastime, and you think about how can I serve them. That is the important part. This method is applicable both in stage of sadhana, which we are doing now, and stage of sadhya, which is a very high stage, which is God realized person. When one is a siddha purusha, we are not siddha purusha, or a spiritually perfected soul. They meditate on Krishna's pastime. One time, Rupa Goswami, who's the author of this book, he was sitting in meditation, and he started laughing in the meditation. He actually went in the pastime of Krishna and Srimati Radha.
Mm.
And then he was in the pastime, and one person was actually who had some physical issue. He was like not able to walk properly. He thought Rupa Goswami is laughing at me that I'm not able to walk.
Oh.
And his meditation broke. And he came out of his meditation. He realized that someone is not happy with me, and he figured out and he went and begged forgiveness that it's not that I was laughing at you, I was just thinking of something else. He didn't share. But that's what is important. How can we remember Krishna's pastime? That can only be possible when we develop that Sambandha Gyan, when we read scriptures. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has commented on the following verse: one who has not yet developed interest in Krishna consciousness should give up all material motives and train his mind by following the progressive regulative principle, namely chanting and remember Krishna as names, forms, qualities, and past. Our stage. We should read more, we should hear more. In this way, developing a taste for such things, one should try to live in Vrindavan and pass his time constantly remembering Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, and qualities under the direction and protection of an expert devotee. This is the sum and substance of all instruction regarding the cultivation of devotional service. In the neophyte stage where we are, one should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. Always hear. Like I have a habit whenever I eat, I play the class. Please develop that. I'm not saying just because I'm doing it, I was taught by someone else. Whenever we are driving, use that time to actually hear about Krishna. This is called as Shravana Das, the stage of hearing. By constantly hearing the transcendental holy name of Krishna and hearing of his transcendental form, qualities, and pastimes, one can attain the stage of accepting call Varanadasa. When one attains this stage, he becomes attached to hearing of Krishna Katha. When one is able to chant in ecstasy, he attains the stage of Smaranvastha, the stage of remembering. Recollection, absorption, meditation, constant remembrance, and trance are the five items of progressing Krishna Smaran. Very beautiful. We should actually read. Krishna book is the best place where you can hear and read Krishna's pastime. At first, we actually as deities, as the pujaris, when we actually go and make the Lord sleep in the evening, we read Krishna book for him. This is every pujari does that. We read 2 pages because Krishna likes hearing his pastimes. Ramanomi is just going to come in April. One
So
time Yashoda,
in front of the altar every day.
yeah, inside the altar we read.
Oh, okay.
Pujari, when we make the Lord to sleep, we read actually 2 pages
At
of
the end
Krishna.
of the day.
Yeah,
Okay.
and before we
What
switch
you read? Any?
every 2 pages, like I finish 51 to 52 page, the next devotee will come 53, 54,
Bhagavad
50.
Gita, which one?
Krishna book.
Krishna book. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so we actually read Krishna book, and that is how actually we get to know about different Krishna's pastime. By uninterrupted and uncessant anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi, which is I was mentioning about Rupa Goswami. After Smandas and samadhi has fully developed, the soul comes to the understand its original conceived position. When you perfect yourself, you can see your swarupa in spiritual world. So all of us, every one of us, have a spiritual form in the spiritual world. What form we don't know yet. When we perfect our Krishna consciousness, we can see who we are in spiritual world. Am I making sense? We can know who we are in the spiritual world. We are serving this gopa, we are serving this gopi. We can get to know our form, spiritual form. Right? Chaitanya Charitamrita advises those who are neophytes to give up all kind of motive desire and simply engage in regulative devotional service of the Lord according to the direction of scripture. In this way, a neophyte can gradually develop attachment to Krishna's name, form, fame, qualities, and so forth. When one develops such attachment, he can spontaneously serve the lotus feet of Krishna even without following the regulative principles. One time, there was one devotee in Jagannath Puri. This lady, very poor lady, she used to make khichdi, and Lord Jagannath would come and eat. So one time, one devotee who knew scriptures, he saw this lady not even taking a bath, not even brushing her teeth, and she's making khichdi.
Hmm.
She said, "This is wrong. What are you doing? You can't make bhoga for Krishna without taking a bath, without brush. You cannot, without bath and brush, you cannot cook for Krishna." So she got late. She made the khichdi, but she got late. Krishna said, Maya, why did you make so late khichdi? I came here to eat khichdi. Jagannath came. She said, because this devotee came and told me that, oh, I have to cook, oh, I have to take a bath, I have to. Said, that's for devotees who are not perfected. You are perfected. Cook for me when you wake up. This is Krishna consciousness. Because not that we follow that her, to be honest, we are not at that stage. But this is the place we want to get into. Right? So this is the bhava one has to have. Whether you are following this thing, you're always following, but you are following spontaneously. Right? This is called as Raganuga Bhakti. What is Raganuga Bhakti? Or spontaneous devotional service can be executed in Shantarasa. One aspires to be like Krishna's cows or stuck, sorry, yeah, flute in the hand of Krishna or a around Krishna's neck. In the Dasya Rasa, one follows the footsteps of servant like Chitraka, Patraka, and Raktaka. These are Krishna's gopas. We need to read about them, need to understand what they do every day, and that's how we also develop that. Oh, I want to do this for Krishna. I want to do this for Krishna. Right? This is very important. In the friendly Sakhi Rasa, one can become friend like Baladev, Sridama, and Sudama. We were talking about Sridama's story just now. In the Vatsalya Rasa, characterized by parental affection, one can become like Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And in Madhurya Rasa, characterized by a conjugal love, one can become like Srimati Radharani. We can never become Srimati Radharani, but we can be like with the mood of Srimati Radharani to serve Krishna and Srimati Radharani and her lady friends like Lalita and Vishakha, who are the Manjaris. So there are gopis and there are manjaris. Gopis are one who actually assist Krishna and Srimati Radharani. And manjaris are those who actually assist only Srimati Radharani. So, who is Rupa Goswami who is writing this book? He's a Rupa Manjari. We talked about spiritual form. Every devotee has a spiritual form. So, what is Rupa Goswami's Krishna Leela? This is in Chaitanya Leela, right? Rupa Goswami is the follower of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna and Radharani combined. And what is his Rupa and Krishna Leela? She is a Rupa Manjari. Am I making sense? Right? So she is a Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari. This is the essence of all instruction in the matter of devotional service. I want to summarize, and before I summarize, any questions or comments, because this is, we never discuss such topic, and today we are really going from 1 to 10. So I just wanted to hear and understand from you if you have any comments or questions, because I'm sure you may have, but I just want to make sure. Any comments? Can we summarize what we discussed today?
Probably what I got is, can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes.
So what I got is like the attachment with Krishna. So the two
Mm.
examples you gave, like I mean not too many you gave, but two, like uh, one guru and his disciple
Bundu. Yeah.
who, yeah, and his story, and the maid last, I mean not maid, in the kitchen, the devotee, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
The lady.
the lady. So,
Ah.
and one more thing, like, but I mean what we do is different, knowing the complete Krishna, I mean it's totally different. I mean you doing just going to the temple, or offering something. It's not that. Beyond that, we need to know about Krishna and his pastimes, and
Yeah.
so that wherever we go, if you see something, you then connect, okay, this is how the Krishna would be, all those memories. So
Yeah, beautiful. Yes, thank you. Beautiful. We also talked about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana.
yeah.
Right? So Sambandha is we need to know why am I doing, what I'm doing, and how am I doing. We need to understand that aspect. And that's how we have to read scriptures, which you mentioned about read Krishna's pastime. We have to understand what different devotees of Krishna are doing and imbibe that quality or develop. Oh, I like to serve Krishna like that. Like we gave an example about Chitra Sakhi, who painted the beautiful picture of Krishna, right? One who has an inclination about, I want to follow Chitra Sakhi. To know how she's painting. I want to know what activities she are doing. Or Rupa Manjari. Like we are reading Rupa Goswami's book. Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Now what is her role in Krishna Leela? What does she do for Srimati Radharani? We need to read about it. And that's how we will develop. We need a we whenever you go to a new college, at least earlier times it used to be, there is a mentor assigned for you. So the higher grade, like for an example, you go to first year, the second year guy will be a mentor. He will tell you where is canteen, where is what. So what is mentorship in this thing is these Krishna Sakha, Srimati Radharani Sakhis, who are mentor teaching us how to do what. And that's very important. And most important part, when one perfects their life, they actually don't go to the spiritual world in Golok Vrindavan. They enter into another universe where Krishna's pastimes are going on. Right now, in this world, Krishna's pastimes are not going on. But in some other universes, it may be Krishna's pastime going on. So when one leaves the body, they take the birth in that universe where Krishna is performing his pastime. And there this devotee is trained in 26 qualities of devotional service. How many? 64. Sorry, 64. which is chanting, dancing, which is how to write poetry for Krishna, how to paint Krishna's body, how to crack jokes for Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Various 64. We learn that and then we go to the spiritual world. So that's very important. So we need to have clear understanding about who these are. And this is the right time for us to think about how can I remember Krishna. You will not, when you get out of this, tell you will not remember any 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 philosophy we discussed. What you will these pastimes. Not that philosophy is not important. We need to understand why we have to do it. But you also have to supplement that with Krishna's pastime, Srimati Radharani's pastime, so that you can remember. So you read Krishna book for that. You hear Krishna Katha, there are a lot of pastimes covered there. So you can meditate on these pastimes. You can see dramas. Online, there are a lot of dramas. Remember these pastimes. That's how you develop that one. Bimesh Prabhu, you want to add something what we discussed?
Yeah, we should always remember Krishna like 24/7 in the
Yeah.
sense like while driving, while
Mm.
always like Savanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. Like it should be always think of Krishna, do remembering him of Krishna, do whatever materialistic, think of him and do.
Beautiful. Yes. Everything we do somehow connected to Krishna. Somehow it's not easy, but try to develop that mindset to always think outside the box. Imagine that the soul is outside or intelligence outside that is watching me. There is someone watching me. Keep like that extra mirror which is watching you. What am I thinking? What am I doing? What am I trying to do? All that stuff. So it tells you, hey, you're going in the wrong direction. Go here, read now. You're sitting now. Anyhow, you're not doing this. Why don't you hear Krishna Katha? Right now, anyhow, you're about to go to sleep. You're not sleeping. Why don't you read for 15 minutes and go to sleep? Because anyhow, when you read, you get a better sleep. That's how it is said, right? Because eyes gets tired. So we have to develop that quality. Read Krishna book. That is a takeaway. Please. It will enhance your bhakti. It give you a lot of beautiful pastime of Krishna to meditate on. And when you go in front of the deities, you actually remember these pastimes. That's the whole idea. Right? So with that, Momita Mataji, would you like to add here? I know your Prabhu is also there. Would you like to add something?
I think they will not able to hear their voice.
Yeah, Mataji is able to hear. I know you. I can't hear you. Okay, no problem. Next time you try to fix that, Mataji. Otherwise, you see how can we do that? I'll figure it out. Otherwise, but it will be nice to hear your realization as well, your Prabhu's realization as well. But I'm grateful to you all for joining. We will continue next week. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so